Hello everyone, this is Rick and thanks so much for joining. This is the 12th Excel 2007 tutorial, and tonight I'm going to touch on some common formulas and functions used in Excel that will hopefully be real beneficial to you. So to start off with, I made a list of common operators here that would be typically used in standard formulas and functions that you'll be working with. So some of them are pretty basic, right? Plus, minus for the hyphen for subtraction, the asterisk symbol for multiplication, the forward slash for division. When you get down here, they become a little bit more advanced, like if we're using exponentiation. For example, instead of typing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, instead of doing 2 to the 5th like this, we can just say equals 2. And then we can use that symbol, which is the shift 6, and then put in 5. So, you know, if we need to change that to 2 to the 10th, it's real easy to modify. Okay, and makes easier to avoid mistakes and errors. Concatenation is another nice feature you can use in formulas. So if I had a 5 and a 2 here and I wanted to combine them together, I could concatenate those two by saying equals C6 ampersand, or concatenate D6, and you see what it does. It puts 5 and 2 together. It doesn't add them, just combines them together. So a really common thing here would be if you have names, for example John Smith, and imagine a long list of hundreds or thousands of names, but you want to merge them together or concatenate them. You could do that. You could say equals C6 ampersand D6, and you see it combine them together. But in a case like this, you would probably want a space in there. So how you do that is you say C6 ampersand asterisk, not asterisk, I'm sorry, quotation, space, close them out again, ampersand again, and you see what it did. It put a space in there. Alright, so that's a real handy function. And then, like other things, you can use greater than or equal to, greater than, less than, and so forth. So just to show you what this does, if I put a 5 here and a 2 here, and then I use a formula here, I say equals 2, I'm sorry, D10, which is the value of 2, and I would say greater than or equal to C10, which is the value of 5. Hit return. It's going to tell you false. Okay, so it validates true or false for you. If I change it to 5, it's going to be true. If I change it to 7, it'll be true, and of course if I change it to 4, it'll be false. Okay, these other ones are self-explanatory, and as you move forward in Excel, you'll start to use these more and more. So a couple other things I want to show you is a really nice feature is you can actually do if statements to customize your formulas and apply them appropriately. So a perfect example here is I've created a really small spreadsheet here where I have 5 salespeople, their quarterly sales, and the total sales. What we're going to say here is we're going to put an if statement in and say if the total sales are below $75,000, they're going to get a 5% commission. If the sales are above $5,000, they're going to, I'm sorry, if the sales are above $75,000, they're going to get an 8% commission. So how you do that is use an if function. You start off with equals, of course, for a formula, and then you type if, and then you double click the option there, and it will fill out these values for you. So our logical test, what do we want to test? We want to see if this value here is less than $75,000. And if that value is true, we put a comma here and we follow this template. If that value is true, what we do is we multiply again the total value, F2, times 0.05. Okay, comma, and what do we do if it's false? We take that total value and we multiply it times 0.08, or 8%. And we close the formula, and you see what it did. It gave us 8% of 75,500 because the value, the condition is false, so therefore it runs this formula. And I'm going to copy this formula down. Again, to copy the formula down, go ahead and highlight the cell, let go of the mouse, drag the mouse over to this corner here. It doesn't show on the screen recorder, but when you get a crosshash on the mouse, click the left mouse button, hold it down, and drag it down and let go, and you see now it's checking F3, F4, and so forth. So you see the commissions are much lower when they don't reach the $75,000 level. Alright, a couple other things I want to show you real quickly are, you'll notice up here when you're under formulas in the menu, you'll have lots of different common functions, math functions. Let's see, you'll have logical functions like and, false, true, auto sum functions, recently used, which would be common ones, financial. So I guess a common financial one would be payment. So click on payment and you'll see it'll give you a template to fill in here, which makes it nice and easy. Okay, so we'll do a car loan of 7% real quick. So 0.07. If you're doing a monthly payment, you want to do a divided by 12. We'll say a 48-month number of periods for 4 years, and we'll do a $20,000 car loan, 0 future value, and we will just hit OK. And you'll notice the payment is $478.92. If we want to change it to say $21,000, for example, you'll see the payment will modify dynamically there. Okay. One other quick thing I want to show you is how to use some conversion techniques. So we talked about concatenation before, which is real handy, mailing list and things like that. But if we want to, we have all these in uppercase, we want to convert them to a more of a proper format. There is a function called proper, and then we can put in the cell that we want to convert, and you notice what it did is it took that uppercase name and put it to uppercase first letter, and then all the rest of them are in lowercase. Then we can drag it down and do all 5 of those names. Likewise, if these were not names and we want to convert them all to lowercase, we could do the same thing by changing proper to lower. Okay, you notice they're all in lowercase. Again, copy that down, you see what it did. And finally, we want to convert it back to uppercase, so I just changed it to upper, and I drag that down. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you for tonight. What I'm going to do is do another Excel tutorial, and I'm going to do more advanced functions and formulas. So anyways, thanks for joining, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.